It's time for Marion County football as we have the Marion County Football Coaches Show with head coach of the Knights, Ross Brown. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon, United Threads, and Farmers National Bank. Now, let's head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon for tonight's Marion County Football Coaches Show with head coach Ross Brown on G&G Productions, where it's live and free.
And welcome back into the Marion County Coaches Corner Show here on G&G Productions, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Jamie Murphy and Marion County head coach Ross Brown joining us this evening. And be sure to come out every Tuesday night during the regular season to join us here at Big Papa Smokehouse live for the show. Also want to thank our friends at United Threads and Farmers National Bank for making the show possible. And Coach, big win on Friday night, 2014 over Webb Dubois. Another close game and a 3-1 start to the season. The best start for the program since 2014. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm proud of the way that we won Friday night. Grinded out a victory when the going got tough, and we found a way to keep our composure and found a way to win. So I'm very proud of the kids.
And one thing we talked about last week was, trying to contain the emotions coming off that big rivalry win, a shutout victory over Washington County, and it looks like your guys did a great job of containing that. Yeah,
we did, and that was one of the things I highlighted in the halftime speech was, we wanted to protect against an emotional letdown off such a big victory the week before, and it took us a little while to lock in and get started, but ultimately we did.
So coming up tonight on the show, we'll be joined by a couple of players later on, Nathan Shuck and Trey Yoakum. Plus, we'll dive into the victory over Webb Dubois on Friday night and look ahead to your next opponent, John Harden, coming up here on the Coaches Corner Show, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. This is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride. Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
Opening an account is easy at Farmers National Bank. We're here to help you get started.
With options like secure checking, student checking, and even senior checking, we can help you find the account that best fits your current needs. Farmers National Bank. Local, friendly, ready to serve you.
Member FDIC.
Welcome back into the Marion County Football Coaches Show here on G&G Productions. Jamie Murphy and Ross Brown with you here on this Tuesday night as we've reached already the halfway mark coming up this week of the high school football season. It's unreal how quickly it goes by.
Yeah, you said it. It seems like it has flown by, and maybe it's because this is all new for me and for them, and we're trying to install everything, but it seems like it's gone extra fast this year for some reason.
Winning, I'm sure, helps, right?
Yeah, that helps that out a little bit, yeah.
So like I mentioned, the 3-1 start to the year is the best in the program since 2014. What are the vibes around the school and the community right now with the trajectory of this program?
I think they're positive. I think they're good. I think we've had great student sections at our games so far. It seems to be something that's had a positive effect in the school building, and I've noticed a few more people in the gates at the home games, and so hopefully that will continue and we can build some excitement.
And the excitement's there, but what's your message to the community, or maybe even middle school players or even high school players that are kind of on the fence about joining the program? What would your message be right now to kind of recruit them for next season?
Come on, let's go. I mean, if you look out there on the field on Friday nights, it's totally different than what it used to be, totally different style, and it'll continue more that direction as we improve. So we want to make football exciting again, and we're hoping we're doing that.
And I'm sure there's a ton of things when I ask this next question that would come to mind. But, going back to when you first arrived at the program, going through spring camp, summer camp, what's been the biggest improvement you've seen so far for this team and this program?
The biggest, I don't know if I can say improvement. The biggest surprise I've had with these kids is how well that they tackled and played defense, right? That's something that was, and Coach Carter did a great job offensively and defensively, but you can tell, it was instilled in them that defense was important and tackling was important. And so I think, that surprised me more than anything because I knew it would be, a long road with teaching something brand new, but that's something they already had. And so I was pleasantly surprised with the aggression and the natural want to play defense.
It's another one-score game, 20-14 on Friday night. 3 of your 4 games have been decided by one possession. So how are the nerves right now? Are you getting more confident in those one-score games?
Yeah, I mean, it bodes well because, you want that experience so later on when you're in a dogfight, you've been there before. And it's not something totally new to you. If you're blowing everybody out by 40 points the first time you get in one of those fights, then you start to get nervous because you haven't been there before. So that bodes well. However, I would like to win these games a little more comfortably and execute a little bit better, and then we wouldn't be in those positions. But so it's a double-edged sword, I guess, if you will. It's good to have that and to have that experience later on in a close battle. But we'd also like to execute where we're not in those situations all the time.
Sure. One thing I've been impressed with is, the fact you're winning one-score games because your style of play where you control the football is great, but you've mentioned double-edged sword. One little mistake could cost you a possession and cost you a game, but you've been able to pull those out. Yeah,
and it's a testament to the kids. And like I said, they're battle-hardened. A lot of them have a lot of experience coming back from the years before, and so they're no strangers to that situation, and they don't back down in that situation.
And let's dive back to the Washington County win and that the game week moving up to Webb Du Bois last week. We talked about the mindset kind of a lot last week and a little bit on the show tonight. But just kind of take us through the week of practice. We talked last Tuesday, and you sounded very confident your team was going to come out ready to go and not have that emotional letdown game.
Right, and it looked good in practice last week as far as effort, and what you're looking for coming off one of those emotional wins is how loose, how silly are they being in practice? Are they not taking this seriously? And we didn't seem to have that going on all week. They were serious about it. They understood, the opponent coming the next week. They understood how good they were, and some of the players that they were going to face this past Friday night, as we saw, are very talented and very good football players. So I thought we did a good job most of the week of the kids locking in and realizing what we had laying in front of us.
And let's get a little bit into that Webb Du Bois win. What kind of surprised you, if anything, from their performance on Friday?
I didn't realize as an individual how good some of their players were. Of course, you see them on film and you know team speed and you see all that stuff and they whip it around. The quarterback, I couldn't believe how big he was. Because when you looked on film, he didn't look that big. But when you got out there on the field with him and really saw him face to face, how big some of their kids were. So I was impressed and kind of surprised at the size of some of their kids. I knew they had skill and speed, but they were also big, strong kids.
And talk about your defense a little bit. Another game, 2 more takeaways for your defense, a big safety in the game that kind of helped on the scoreboard. Some people will call turnovers fluky, but at this point, we're a month into the season, and your team just keeps taking the ball away from opponents.
Yeah, there's nothing fluky about turnovers. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it happens, but the fumbles that we got were an executed strip out on one of them, and the interception that Mr. Shuck got, who's sitting over there, finally played it perfectly, right? We've been working on that flood concept all year, playing in between and, daring them to throw to the deeper guy. And he did it and stepped in and took it. So the takeaways that we got on Friday night were not a fluke at all.
And football's a team game. I know a couple missed extra points, I'm sure you're disappointed with. But how's the special teams progressing throughout the season?
Really, the special, the extra point is the only special that we're struggling with. We've done a good job punt coverage. We've done an excellent job of kicking it and keeping it away from their most dangerous guys and covering that. A punt return, we haven't made any mistakes there either. So really, it's just the one area that we've struggled, and we're continuing to work on that and clean it up, try to clean it up each week.
And then this game, thankfully, though, your defense came up big, got you 2 extra points with that safety.
No, they've been doing it all year. I mean, when you look at the points that we've given up, we're not averaging giving up much in the world of today's football, right? 30 years ago, that's a lot of points to give up. But in today's football, It's not. And defensively, we've played pretty solid, and we've gotten better each week. We're getting better in pass coverage. And we're, from the linebackers to the secondary, and, we're getting that part of the game down too.
And, like I said, a month into the season already, this next game marks the halfway point of the year. You don't have a bye week until October, mid-October, late in the season. So what's the health of the team overall right now?
Pretty good. We've got a couple of nagging injuries there, a tweaked ankle or so. We had a starting tackle that didn't play last week, and, that could have had some influence on what we were able to do and not do offensively. But for the most part, we're somewhat healthy. You got your weekly bruises and bangs, but nothing that serious.
All right. Joined by head coach Ross Brown here. Marion County off to a 3-1 start, their best start in program history since 2014. Lots of momentum, big game coming up. Before we dive into that, we'll be joined by players Nathan Shuck and Trey Yoakum a bit later on in the show. But coming up on the other side of the break, we'll dive deeper into that 20-14 win over Webb DuBois on Friday night. You're watching the Coach's Corner Show live from Big Papa Smokehouse here on G&G Productions. Also brought to you by United Threads and Farmers National Bank of Lebanon.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
Ready for a new adventure? We'll help you get there, by land or by water. New car, ATV, RV, or boat? Wherever your next adventure takes you, we make your loan process simple, stress-free, and fast.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
Back here on the Marion County Coaches Show here on G&G Productions, live from Big Papa Smokehouse. And again, we invite you out every Tuesday night during the regular season to join us with Coach Ross Brown to recap the previous game and preview the next week's action. Also want to thank our friends at United Threads and Farmers National Bank for making it all possible. A 3-1 start, tons of momentum for the Marion County football program. Another game where you just controlled the clock and dominated on the line of scrimmage, 200-plus rushing yards again.
Yeah, and I mean that's the game plan. That we, like I said last week, we know what our strengths are, and we know what we have to improve on. And obviously by the end of the year, we want to get to a point to where we're incorporating more of the passing game. But until that point, like I said, we know where our strengths are, and we know what's the best chance for us to win a game.
And you mentioned down an offensive lineman in that game. Was there any concern going into it without a player, or just next man up mentality?
No, because like you said, next man up mentality, and we expect the next guy to step in and do their job, and up front is like our strength. So we knew that the guys we were going to have step in and fulfill that spot were going to be, just fine.
And we'll talk more about the upcoming opponent, John Harden, on Friday night. But how did playing this team on Friday kind of prepare you to play John Harden on Friday?
Well, it's two different styles. However, skill sets are very similar, right? Speed, athleticism. And so learning how to corral that speed and play together with leverage to make tackles on good ball carriers, and that's going to hold true this week. They're not going to throw the ball as much as W.B. Du Bois did, but it's still a similar skill set that we're going to face.
And how do you kind of overcome that? Some people will say, speed always wins. How do you kind of overcome that as a program?
Well, like I just told you, I'm a big leverage guy. So defensively, in order to play solid defense, you have to play with good leverage, and that's teamwork. right? If everybody does their job and holds their leverage points, and we can box somebody in who may be faster than any individual player that we have, but if we work together with leverage and angles, then we can negate that speed.
It's dangerous to do this, but with names and things like that. But let's give some credit to the right tackle that stepped in this past week. And
well, there's several. It was by committee, so you know what I mean. There's not one guy that I want to call out and say that he did the whole thing, because it was a team effort, and there were several guys who did it. So all the guys who stepped in, because not only did we have to step in there, sometimes we moved a guard to tackle and put a backup guard in there to cover that spot too. So there's so many guys involved with it. I would hate to name just one.
Sure. And there's a lot of moving pieces there. So does that come back to practice and being prepared and having the right mindset to be ready to go for that?
Right, because you never know when your number's going to be called. If you're a backup, you're always one play away, right? You're one play away from having to step on that field, because you don't know what's going to happen to the guy who's starting in front of you. So a testament to them to step in there and hold their own, and the guys who had to move around to be adaptable and to be able to do that on the fly and handle it the way they did.
Do players and kids like that ability to get moved around, or are they kind of a creature of habit and just like their one position?
It
and
depends,
stick there?
right? It depends. It's person to person, right? I think we have several kids on the team that would like to play all kinds of different positions to get the different experience, and it's just more fun, to get to experience different things and doing the same thing all the time. And you got some guys who love what they do and they don't want to do anything else, and if you ever have to ask them to move for a game or something, then it'll kind of throw a wrench in what they've got going on. So you got a little bit of both.
Do you ever have any of the offensive linemen ask you to draw up some red zone plays or goal line plays for them?
Absolutely, right? I don't think I've ever coached a football team where the lineman didn't want to run and throw, right? So every lineman that you have will tell you, if I ever get the ball, nobody's tackling me, right?
Sure.
And then if you ever hand them the ball, you find out that's not the case, right? Usually the little guys just chop their legs and they're down with the first tackler they encounter, right? But they'll promise you that they'll never get tackled. And so all linemen think they're good running backs, and all linemen think they can play quarterback as well.
Well, they may not be able to catch or pass the ball, but they've certainly done a good job blocking. 3 players last week with 8+ carries in the game. It really makes you a hard offense to prepare for.
That's what we want to be. That's the goal, and that's kind of why we like the offense that we run and why we do what we do. Because we like to think that we're as balanced as we could possibly be, and you can't key on one player or load up one side of the line of scrimmage to be able to stop us. Right?
And one of those players was Wyatt Thompson, 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air, 1 on the ground.
Yeah, Wyatt played well this week, ran it well like he always does, threw it well. And of course, we only threw it 4 times, but the 3 out of those 4 passes were right on the money, and did a great job.
Yeah, you led to my next question. Like I said, only 4 passing attempts, but just having that on film and showing the ability you can throw the football, that's got to be really advantageous for you moving forward.
It is, and it's encouraging to us, as play callers to going forward, start incorporating a little bit more of that and making teams more aware they're going to have to defend that.
And the old cliche with the running game is, you want to get 3 yards in a cloud of dust to get the first down and keep the ball in the field. But your team averaged almost 5 yards per carry on Friday night.
Yeah, and we like that. And like I said, I think that's another testament to being balanced. There's a lot of power run teams, but if you're pretty predictable in where you're going to where your strength is from the formation, then usually it's 2 or 3 yards in a cloud of dust. But I think the fact that you have to defend the whole field against us kind of allows us to rip off 4, 5, 6 yards a run.
And now changing sides of the ball, going over to the defense, 15 players recorded a tackle in this game, so your guys are just flying everywhere on the field on Friday.
Yeah, and it makes me so proud. Like I said, I'm much more of a defensive guy at heart myself, so I love seeing that. Everybody getting to the ball, continuing to pursue the ball, even when it looks out of reach, because like I always tell them, it's good things happen when you continue to hustle, because you never know what's going to happen.
We've already kind of talked about it, but the defense again, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, interception, a safety. They kind of did it all.
They did, and it's when you can play defense like that, it makes everything else a little more relaxed. Offensively, you don't have to score every time you get the ball, and it affects play calling and just the psyche of the person who's calling the play, knowing you got a solid defense. No matter what happens, then we're going to be okay.
Your defense has been stout this year. I don't have the exact points per game, but they've not allowed over 21 points in a game so far this year.
Right, and a couple weeks ago, I was proud of what we did with Washington County. This week, with the exception really of about 3 or 4 plays, we were right on that path of less than 100 yards, and we gave up, like I said, 3 or 4 passes that hurt that. But overall, we did a great job again defensively this week.
Yeah, if I kind of talk through the last possession, Webb Dubois or Webb Dubois, whatever their name is, we joked about that last week. They had the ball in midfield, down 1 score, an extra point would have won the game, and your defense came up big on 4th down.
Yeah, it did. We got them into a 4th down situation. Like I said, they spread the ball out all over the place, so they really weren't uncomfortable there because they figured they only had 2 yards to get in that situation. But they were having such a tough time running the football on us that they didn't try to go that route, and so they tried to pass it. And we had great coverage all over the field. Quarterback had to scramble a little bit, and then he tried to finally dump it down in the middle to a crosser, to which our linebacker Lane did a great job of getting in front of it, diving and batting it down, and then all we had to do was kneel it out from there.
And we hear a lot about complimentary football from coaches, and some fans may think it's like a cliche, but I think your team really epitomizes that. Just the way the offense works with the defense.
I think it does too. I think it all feeds off each other, and when you got a lot of guys going both ways like we do, of course, you're right. So you get a big defensive stop. It's those same guys that are walking to the other side, getting in the huddle on offense. So they're jacked about what they just did, and it uplifts the offensive side of the ball too. Right.
And as I asked about that, I don't know if you know the percentage exactly or the number, but how many players go both ways for your team?
Most. Most, really. I think at least probably 8 out of 11. See both sides, time on both sides of the ball.
And how do they stay conditioned to play that elite like they have on both sides of the ball for all 4 quarters this year?
It takes a lot of running that they were complaining about in the summer and the spring, right? It takes that, and it takes working into game shape. You go through those first 3 or 4 weeks, and usually it's hot. Now we've been blessed this year in August to have some pretty mild weather, but usually those first 3 or 4 weeks of playing into shape. Usually by the time you get to mid-season now, those guys going both ways aren't so affected all the time. So, yeah.
I've got a question. The players are occupied right now chowing down here at Big Papa's Smokehouse, but I was going to ask them if they can outrun you or who could outrun you. So we're going to see what they answer a bit later on.
Okay, all right. They're both going to tell you they can. However, I think I can get one of them.
Yeah, you're getting some eyeballs already from the table over to our left here. So.
Hey, I can get one, and I would trip the other one, so I would win that one.
Strategy. Kyle Purden, a big game on Friday night. 2 sacks and that big safety for your team.
Did, man. He is an anchor in the middle. Offensively up on the line of scrimmage, he's like a quarterback up there. He's running the show. He's a lot of times telling the other linemen, sometimes what their responsibilities are, and defensively. Him and Trey are both anchors in the middle, and it's hard for teams to run the ball on us with those 2 in there. And then Kyle, like I said, even did in pass rushing this week. He was a force in the middle too. So we're getting better each week.
Yep. And you talked off air with me about the message to your team kind of at halftime. Can you kind of walk us through that?
Yeah, and it was just, like I was talking about, we didn't want to have an emotional letdown after the week before. And so that's something that we reiterated because we were doing pretty well at the beginning of the first half, and at the end of the first half, we kind of made some mistakes that allowed them to keep drives alive and put us in a position where we're in a battle. And so we had to reiterate, hey, we got to get refocused. And, we worried about, not being focused after a big emotional win. We got to get back to where we need to be in order to pull this victory out.
And they certainly did that. 2014 over Webb Dubois to move to 3-1 on the season. Back-to-back wins. Best start in the program since 2014. So a lot of momentum going for the Marion County program right now. So to come here on the Coach's Corner Show, brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse, United Threads, and Farmers National Bank. We'll meet a pair of players, Nathan Shook and Trey Yoakum, a bit later on in the show. They're chowing down right now, Coach, so I'll let them finish their meal. So we'll take a quick break. On the other side, we'll go ahead and start looking forward to John Harden on Friday night.
Okay, good deal.
All right, this is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa's Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa's Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride. Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
At Farmers National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success.
Whether you're managing your personal checking, growing your business, exploring digital banking, or applying for a loan, we're here to help with all of your financial needs.
Decisions are made right here locally by people who understand you and your community, because we live here too.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
Back here at Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon for the Marion County Coaches Corner Show. Jamie Murphy and Marion County head coach Ross Brown here with us, fresh off a big win by 6 points, 20-14 over Webb Dubois on Friday night. You hit the road this week with a 2-0 road record, though, on the season.
Yeah, the road's been good to us so far, so hopefully we can continue that trend.
How different is it to go, on the road, the equipment and just all the movement that goes into a game day?
Right. I would prefer to be at home because there is a little bit of anxiety from a coach. I'm a routine person. So anytime if we get thrown off that routine, I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable. So there's always a chance of that when you go on the road, traffic and everything else. So I would prefer to be at home, but I don't think it affects the players as much as it does me.
What's the most common equipment item or item left behind on game day on the road?
Well, Washington County, we had cleats left, right? So Washington County last week, we had to send somebody back to the high school. Luckily, it's not that
Close
far
drive.
away, right? So we could get his cleats to him before the game started, but we showed up to dress, and one of the players didn't have the cleats, and so immediately I'm like, that throws me off, right?
Did you ever leave anything behind as a player? Of course not, right?
No, I don't think I did, and I know that's good. You expect me to say that, but I don't think I ever did. I was really, I was usually torn up before games, so I never would have forgotten anything.
What's your maybe I won't say rules necessarily, but what's the bus like trip going to the game?
The bus trip to the game is very quiet. Our guys do a great job, and it's not something that we had to beat into them. They were like that from the first bus ride that we had. So they do a pretty good job of locking in. You put their headphones in and listen to music, and they stay pretty quiet. And we get close, and then we'll crank up the music on the bus as soon as we get close. But they do a really good job of locking in.
What's your pregame routine, whether it's home or on the road?
My personal pregame routine?
Your personal routine.
I don't know if I have one other than continuously looking at the scouting report, right? Probably a lot more than I should, because sometimes I think you can talk yourself out of things, right? When you get to looking at it, if this, but that, and you should have just went with your gut instinct to begin with, and so I've noticed that, and so I try not to outthink myself.
Well, it's a challenging game coming up again. We talked about the record for Webb Dubois being a bit misleading with the record coming in. John Harden 2-2, but man, everyone has their hands full with Cavalli Pittman, the running back.
Oh yeah, the dude can run. He is a player. And he runs hard. As talented as he is, that's great, man. But the effort and the heart that he runs with is, he's a really good back.
He's unique, kind of big, but kind of speedy as well.
Yeah, he is. He's got a good combination for a running back, right? He's got some size, he's got speed, he's shifty, and he's aggressive. And that's a tough combination.
And he's coming in averaging 168 rushing yards per game coming into this contest with you. What's your goal? Is there a goal defensively against him, or is it just kind of, team effort?
I don't think there's like a yardage goal or anything. A guy like that who's going to carry it 35 times, you're obviously not going to stop him.
He's going to get his
right?
yards.
He's going to get a few yards. The goal is to slow him down under what he normally gets. And we feel like if we can slow him down, because he is such a big part of the offense and carries it so many times, then if you slow him down, then you slow the whole team down. Right?
Are there any tendencies he kind of has? A lot of coaches will say, make a guy go left and right in the backfield and you can kind of get him, or is he just, jack of all trades?
He's got a tendency to be a really good running back. And no, he can do it all. Like I said, inside, outside. He'll run through you, around you, run away from you if he gets behind you. He's a good ball player.
We always hear, NFL, college games, the term gap integrity. Is that such a thing at the high school level too?
Huge, right? Huge. And that's something when I talk about leverage earlier, that's part of it. Everybody's got to do their job, play their gaps, and play with their leverage in order to tackle any running back, much less somebody who's as talented as he is. So that gap integrity, it better be executed by us Friday night or we'll be in trouble.
Kind of walk maybe like the common fan, you'll hear it on game days, the A gap, B gap, C gap. Kind of walk that through the casual fan and so they can visualize it.
A gaps are the gaps on either side of the center, who the center is the guy in the middle, the lineman in the middle of the formation that's snapping the ball to the quarterback. So the A gaps are on either side of him, right? And then you work out from there. So in between the guards and the tackles are the B gaps. And then outside the tackles, between the tackles and the tight ends is the C gap. And then D would be considered outside the tight end.
Good education there for us. So you'll have your hands full certainly with Pittman. And John Harden's a very veteran team. A lot of seniors up and down that lineup.
Right, and that speaks volumes. These kids, just like some of our kids, have been through the battles. They've seen about everything you can throw at them over 2, 3, 4 years, and so they don't panic, and they're seasoned, and they're a good football program.
And how motivated, if any, do you think your players are? Any extra motivation when they go up against a player like Pittman and his caliber? I'm sure they'll hear all week about they'll see the film, they'll hear you talking about him, they hear me talking about him. Probably gets to them a little bit, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I make it a point to be obnoxious about it. I want to drive it home to them how good he is, so they'll maybe take it personally and want to show me how good he's not. And so I make sure all week that I drive it home that he's one of the best football players I've ever seen.
Yep. And a lot like you guys, they run the ball a ton, but they can pass every now and then.
Yes, they can. Quarterback does a good job. And like I said, don't throw it a lot, but when he does throw it, he's pretty efficient. He usually hits his target. And he's usually throwing to wide open guys because play action really works when you run the ball as much as they do, right?
And how do you stay disciplined against a team that, can have a dual threat? I mean, the running back or the quarterback can sometimes take off. The running back, you're going to cheat up a little maybe to try not get beat and keep those gaps full. How difficult is that?
It is difficult. It's because, like you said, you have to do certain things against teams that do something very well. And when you do those things, like move more people toward the line of scrimmage, then you become more susceptible to the pass and the play action pass. So, they got a good design over there. Coach Preston does a great job everywhere he's ever been. He's a legendary coach. And, you can see why.
And believe it or not, I never played defensive line or linebacker at all in my life.
You don't say.
But what do they look for, on a play action pass? Where do your eyes kind of go? How do you not get, fooled and faked out by it?
Keys. Like different players on the field will have different keys. So my middle linebacker's key on a pass is going to be different than my cornerbacks, right? A lot of times in the secondary, we might be watching tackles on the end of the line of scrimmage to see if it's a high hat and he's pass setting, or he's head down going down the down block, and that'll give us a good indication of whether it's run or pass. But another thing they do really well, they'll have their tight end block for 2 seconds and then release out on a pass. So his first read that he gives you is run, and then he'll leak out, and so that makes it very tough to defend. It's good design.
Yep. And going up against the defense, like I said, John Harden kind of does everything well all around, but only 3 takeaways so far this season, so it'd be really pivotal to take care of the football and not give them the extra possessions.
Absolutely, and that's important every week. And I said it a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the Washington County game. That was the first game that we hadn't given the other team the ball 3 or 4 times or more, and it really makes a huge difference, as you can see. And that'll be crucial going forward too. I think it'll always come down to who plays the best defense and who creates the most turnovers. Got a good chance to win the game.
And unless I missed it was a clean game against Woe DuBois Friday night, right?
Yeah,
for the offense.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
So John Harden coming up. Their defense does a really good job of tackle for losses. They average 6.5 tackle for losses per game. So how important is it to kind of stay ahead of the sticks for your team?
Very important, especially with what we do. and our strengths, and it's we don't want to get in third and 14, third and 20 situations. So it's pretty important for us to stay ahead of the chains. Although, we found ourselves in that situation several times, and we're still able to get out of it because we blocked well and ran plays well. But we don't like to live there, no.
And do you kind of work on in practice some key plays if you do get stuck in a third and long, fourth and long situation, or you just focus on what your strength is, and that's getting second and short, third and short?
Right. No, you work them both, right? So we're going to work every offensive practice that we have. We're going to work the run game. We're going to work the pass game. We're going to work short passes, deep passes, and then that way, hopefully, when it comes game time, we've run them all enough that they're comfortable with all of them.
And I'm sure, much like the rest of the season, ball control is going to be huge to try to keep Pittman and that offense on the sideline.
Always, right? And I told you, it's always about the football. Who has it and who can take it away, right? And so, ball control, you're right. When we got it, we want to hold on to it. And when they have it, we want to get it back from them as fast as we can.
And what are some advantages? If we talk, I don't want to sound negative about things, but what are some advantages you think you have against John Harden?
I think they have not played anybody this year that's going to be as physical as we are up front. And I realize that that's part of their strength too, because that's what they do. But looking on film, I'm not sure that they've seen a line of scrimmage with the size we've got. So I think that may be one of the advantages that we have. Yeah.
What's an opponent? Probably Webb Dubois from last week. That's kind of similar to what you faced so far that you'll face on Friday against John Harden.
Right. Yeah, they got the big, strong, fast athletes, and it'll be a lot like last week. And like I said, a different style but similar skill sets.
What would a 4-1 start to the season mean to you and your program and your assistants?
It'd mean a decent start, a good start, and but going forward, the second half of the season leads up to what we call the real season, and it's playoffs. And so, like everything leading up to that is just to get ready for the real action now. So we hope to continue to improve going forward and get better every week.
So coming up, next 5 opponents, you've got John Harden, Thomas Nelson, E-Town, Nelson County, and Taylor County, a combined 13-7 record. You take Thomas Nelson out, a combined 12-4 record.
Right. Yeah, it's our district is a good district. We've got some good teams in there. E-Town's good, Taylor's good, Nelson's good, Thomas Nelson. I feel like they're all good. So there's not really a week that we can take a breath or a break.
That's probably a good thing, right? To keep your team
it's a great
motivated
thing.
and
focused.
I like
it. Yeah, I like it because you're right. If you're rolling everybody by 40 or 50 points, and your kids can get complacent and start thinking they're a lot better than what they really are, and then that's when you slip up.
Have you seen any complacency so far from your players this year?
No, not yet. Thank goodness. Haven't seen it yet. As we keep winning, that may be something that we're going to have to curb, not to get too full of ourselves and think that we've arrived, because, sitting at whatever the record may be, and still realizing we can be so much better. And we're not satisfied with where we are now because we know how much better we can be.
Yep. And football is truly a week-to-week sport.
Yeah, it is. It is. Every week. You like to think you know what you're going to get, but, you're also dealing with teenage kids. So, I think we've been pretty consistent, and I think I know what I'm going to get from these kids, and I can rely on them, and they're going to give me everything they got every week.
And we've talked a ton about the John Harden offense. What kind of challenges do they present defensively?
The same as they do on offense. They're going to be fast, quick. It's going to be hard to get to the edges on them. And it's hard to get them out of position. So similar skill sets on offense, on the defensive side of the ball, speed and athleticism.
All right, that's Marion County head coach Ross Brown, off to a 3-1 start, their best start in the program since 2014. Coming up on the other side of the break, we'll be joined by players Nathan Shuck and Trey Yoakum. You're watching the Marion County Coaches Corner Show live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Also want to thank our friends at United Threads and Farmers National Bank. This is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
At Farmers National Bank, we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success.
Whether you're managing your personal checking, growing your business, exploring digital banking, or applying for a loan, we're here to help with all of your financial needs.
Decisions are made right here locally by people who understand you and your community because we live here too.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
And welcome back into the Marion County Coaches Corner show here on G&G Productions. Jamie Murphy joined by Marion County head coach Ross Brown and running back, outside linebacker Nathan Shuck, and defensive tackle and guard Trey Yoakum. Welcome to the show, fellas, and thanks for your time.
Hey. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, so like we've mentioned several times tonight, a 3-1 start to the season, the best start since 2014. Is there a little extra buzz, around the hallways in school this week?
Yeah, people showing up to the games a lot more. They like coming now, so yeah.
Yes, sir. They see that we're winning. They're trying to come out and support.
And hopefully keep on building that with a big game coming up on Friday night at John Hardin. What's so far? It's we're early in the season, still 2 months to go. But what's been your favorite moment on or off the field? We'll start with Trey and work our way over to Nathan.
Joking around with Coach Ford and just winning games.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good time. Winning games is always fun. It's always good.
So winning always helps, right?
Yes, sir.
So we already asked what the atmosphere for the school is, but how do you keep carrying this momentum on, week by week, and not getting too high, not getting too low?
Just keep playing and practicing hard and play as a team.
Just keep that same mentality. We ain't proved nothing. We ain't nowhere yet. We just keep on chucking.
What's a hard practice look like for you through your eyes?
Well, in my eyes, a lot of running.
Yeah, I say messing up a lot. It's going to be a long practice.
The common theme, Coach, has been running all season long so far on the Coach's Show. So that leads to the next question we talked about earlier. Do you guys think you could outrun Coach in a contest?
Yeah.
I definitely can.
Now, you think you get him in a sprint, like a 40-yard dash, or a longer route running?
40-yard dash.
It don't matter.
All right, Coach, what are your thoughts over there?
Well, I already told you my plan would be, I can outrun him already, and I would have to trip Trey. So I'd do what I have to do to win. I'd find a way, even if it means cheating.
And we've heard a lot of your teammates that have come on the show so far. I've talked about the running and all the drills in the summer, but that's had to really prepare you conditioning-wise for the physicality you guys bring to the field every week.
Well, just keeping a lot of fresh legs, and that conditioning helps us a whole lot with getting off the ball fast and just keep playing.
Yeah, a lot of conditioning. Everybody that plays both sides, it's good to stay in there and in shape.
How do you work on staying in shape throughout the years? You're playing games each week. You practice all week. That's got to be take a toll on you.
Yeah, it's. I feel like the games that gets me in shape a lot more than just practice, but practice definitely helps to keep you up.
All right. So like I said, we're halfway through this season already. What years are you guys in? I didn't even ask you that off the air.
Senior year,
junior year.
So you got a couple years left going. So what? We'll start with Nathan and work our way back over here. What got you initially involved in playing football as a kid?
Mom put me in when I was younger. I just stuck through it ever since.
Oh, is that the only sport you play? Or
yes, sir.
Okay. Same for you.
Oh, well, my stepdad, he coached. Well, basically my dad, but he coached, and my older brother played. So Mom just stuck me in and told me to get out there and play.
Football only, or any other sport you participate in?
I used to play basketball, but it ain't me no more.
Coach says you're a hooper.
Yeah, I'm better than him.
I feel some contest coming up maybe next week in practice between you guys and Coach going forward. All right, so you both grew up playing football from a young age. Did you play together, coming up through Marion County, or?
Sometime, not the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, we had most of the team were split by grade, so it wasn't really on the same team.
And I'll go back to Coach for that question. Is that something you kind of want to emphasize? Kind of being the last stop for the kids playing at football and at the youth level?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's supposed to be everything working toward this culmination, right, where they get together in high school. So if you're running your football program the right way, Little League is streamlined all the way through middle school, all the way up to high school, to where they finally all get to come together. And like I said, it's the culmination, and that's what they've been working for all this time. Yeah.
All right. And they said you guys grew up, playing football. Any players you idolized as a kid growing up?
Aaron Donald.
That's a good one.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I'd have to say Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch.
Yes,
that's a couple Marshawn Lynches we've had so far this year. So
Also a good choice.
I'm a little surprised at the Marshawn Lynch one. A little bit of an older guy, but
Yeah.
all right, Coach, you have any idols you grew up?
Oh, without doubt, the greatest running back in the history of time, Barry Sanders. And if anybody wants to argue with that, I'll be glad to sit down with you.
Well, we're going to do a coach's question of the week, so maybe we'll get some feedback on that take. But certainly won't argue with you on that one. So you both play both sides of the football. Nathan, you're running back and an outside linebacker. You have a favorite position, side of the ball you like better?
Yeah, I'd have to definitely say running back. That's my thing.
That's a little unusual. Usually players I like playing defense so I can hit somebody.
Yeah, I feel like on offense, I feel like I'm hitting them more than they're hitting me. I don't know.
And you mentioned you play outside linebacker, so can you walk maybe a casual fan that doesn't really know the middle outside kind of the difference in the linebackers?
I feel like outside it's definitely got a lot to it. You got to stay on your toes most of the game. If you don't know what you're doing, you're definitely gonna get caught up, ball thrown over your head or something. But you always got to rush to run too.
So what's the goal of an outside linebacker?
What's your job?
Nothing. Don't let anything outside.
All right. Same for Trey. What's your favorite side of the ball, offense or defense?
Defense.
I'm going to say you like to hit somebody, don't you?
Yes, sir.
If there's one position you guys could play, what would it be?
Well, put me at running back.
I don't know. I don't think I got one. I grew up mostly playing almost anything.
He's been begging. He's been begging to throw a halfback pass for the past 2 weeks, so I got a feeling quarterback would be the position.
I was thinking that myself too, so I was surprised you didn't get that one to come in. And I heard Nathan also you had a objection with the stats from Friday night's game.
Yeah, they said I had 2 fumble recoveries or 1, and I had 2.
Yeah, 2. All right, we'll have to go with the film on that one and get you the extra fumble recovery. Speaking of that, your defense this year has just been made a living taking the ball away from people.
Yes, sir. I got a few things I could work on, but so far I feel like our defense is starting to come together and it's working out pretty good.
And we'll ask you the same questions, Trey. Kind of what's your role and your goal as a defensive tackle, and then we'll go to the offensive guard after that.
Really to stop anything that's coming up the middle, hold up them man so my linebackers can run free.
So you got a couple different spots on the defensive line. So could you kind of walk us through everybody's role, from defensive tackle to working outside?
Well, the DNs, they should be able to stay outside, contain the outside, cut everything back into the D tackles and the linebackers so they can get to the ball. D tackles hold the man up so the linebacker can run free, get the tackle, like if it's outside or anything, and clog up your hole. And yeah, that's really it.
Solid answer. Now, same thing for offense. You're at guard, so kind of walk us through the offensive line and their jobs.
Well, the tackles, it just really. Maybe you got a down block or a kick out. Maybe you got something like that. Guards is usually pulling or base blocking, and center is always blocking backside.
Did they pass the quiz, Coach?
Yeah, they did.
For the most part. Maybe a coaching moment in the future for you guys when you get back to practice later on this week. So we'll get into some more fun questions, but look ahead to your opponent on Friday night going up against John Harden, and you're certainly going to have your hands full with their running back, as I'm sure you've heard from Coach throughout the week.
Yeah. It's a big district game. This is the time for it to really get real, so we got to lock in and be prepared.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like at running back, though, I feel like we'll be able to stop him.
Yeah. So how tired, because I've been yapping about him for a half hour. I'm sure Coach has harped on it. How tired are you hearing about him?
It gets I don't know. But also, he's a good running back, so we're going to have to definitely cue on him, make sure that we know where he is at all times.
And Trey, what's your kind of goal? What can you do to slow him down?
Just clog up my hole and let Lane D run free to get there, or if he comes my way, I'll get him myself. So.
So what kind of advantages do you feel like you have going into this game on Friday?
I feel like our line is way more physical than their line. I feel like we're more physical all around. We just got to play.
Yeah, our defense is probably going to be one of the best that they've played so far yet.
Obviously going on the road away from home this week, do you guys prefer a home game or a road game?
Home game.
Home game, definitely.
All right, well, it's your chance here. Make a pitch to the community. Maybe come down to E-Town and support you guys on Friday night.
Come out and support.
It's a long drive, but it's going to be worth it.
All right, we're joined by Nathan Shuck and Trey Yoakum and Coach Ross Brown from Marion County Football here on the Coaches Show, brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse, United Threads, and Farmers National Bank of Lebanon. We'll take one final break, and we'll come back and wrap up the show. This is a G&G production.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride. Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
Opening an account is easy at Farmers National Bank. We're here to help you get started.
With options like secure checking, student checking, and even senior checking, we can help you find the account that best fits your current needs. Farmers National Bank. Local, friendly, ready to serve you.
Member FDIC.
And welcome back into Big Papa Smokehouse for the Marion County Football Coaches Corner Show here on G&G Productions. Jamie Murphy, Coach Ross Brown, Nathan Shuck, and Trey Yoakum joining us, coming off that big win 2014 over Reb Du Bois on Friday night, and a huge game in the district coming up on the road at John Hardin on Friday night. But you guys have played a lot of close games so far this year, so I've talked to Coach about his nerves. How are you guys holding up with all the close ones?
Well, we got to clean up a bunch of mistakes, and then I feel like those close games will go away once we clean up all those mistakes.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes down to it, the close games, I feel like that's all about football right there. Them close games, there's nothing that matches it.
So they enjoy it, Coach, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think they enjoy it a little more than I do. I'd like for them to be not so close. However, like I said, though, it's a testament to how they fight. Yeah. Whenever as I say, the bullets get to flying and they don't panic, and we find a way to win, which earlier in the year I didn't know if that was the case, but I think we're to the point now that in those situations we know how to win.
And it builds character in a team to play those close games.
Great, awesome. And like I said, going forward, playoff time, when it really starts to matter, when you find yourself in that situation, if you've got that experience, that's an advantage.
And Trey is a two-way player, playing in these close games. You can't take a playoff late in the game. How do you power through conditioning-wise, to get through a close game and finish these games off?
Well, usually Coach Brown and Coach Ford, they keep our legs fresh, keep us ready throughout the games, and we come in at halftime, we get stretched out all over again, and then we go back out and play like it's a brand new game.
Yeah, at the end of the game, it's usually who wants it more. That's what it comes down to. It's all going to be hard throughout the whole game, but then at the end, you just got to drive through it.
All right, so we talked about a lot of the on-field performances from you guys. So let's dive into the classroom a little bit, and let's start with Nathan. What's your favorite subject in school? Lunch.
Maybe more like a science.
Science? Okay.
Probably math. Yeah.
We've had a few math on here, surprisingly, which is never my strong suit at all in school. So I know, Trey, you're my senior, right? So any future plans yet, or are you still trying to just get through the season and get through the year?
Just get through the season and get through the year.
And Nathan, you're a junior, so you got the luxury of a little bit more time, but any future plans, college, career-wise?
I'm definitely going to go to college. I'm not sure really what I want to do yet.
You got plenty of time. I'm 30. I still don't know what I want to do yet. All right, so like I said, halfway point of the season, you got that big Washington County win and a game behind you. Any certain game you're looking forward to the rest of the way?
Not really. After that Washington County, that was the big game. It's just who's next. That's
Week by week, right? Anything special for you, Trey?
I'm kind of looking forward to the Taylor County game. It's kind of a closer rival. And my cousin, he coaches on their coaching staff, so I'm just looking forward to trying to beat him, you know.
So you can make things a little interesting at the Thanksgiving dinner table in a few months, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're out here at Big Papa Smokehouse. So what was the go-to on the menu tonight for you, Trey?
Patty melt and waffle fries.
I had steak nachos.
And Coach Brown shaking his head in disbelief with Trey's answer.
These guys, and there's been several of them that have come down here so far, are at a barbecue restaurant where they have fantastic barbecue and they don't get barbecue. So it always makes me laugh.
Yep. It's the equivalent of getting chicken tenders at a seafood restaurant is what it is.
Exactly.
All right. And, of course, we invite you out every Tuesday night here during the regular season to join us live at Big Papa Smokehouse. Also, I want to thank our friends United Threads and Farmers National Bank as well for making the show possible. Last questions, and we'll get you all out of here and get you ready for the game on Friday night. What's been your favorite memory so far, whether it's on or off the field at Marion County in your entire career, not just this season?
All the times goofing around in the locker room and just going out and playing like with the team I've always been with my whole life. So
yeah, it's definitely building a bond with everybody, having a brotherhood.
And I've got one or two more questions. What is your goal personally and team-wise for the rest of the year? We'll start with Nathan and work over to Trey.
I just want to get through playoffs. I want to get that playoff win.
Well, get these few district wins, maybe get the district championship and win a playoff game.
Certainly achievable. And Coach, we'll go to you. Last thoughts on John Harden coming up on Friday night?
Very good ball team. With some talented players and a good running back that's really going to challenge us defensively.
All right, so finish my statement here. Marion County wins if?
We tackle number 4.
All right, there's the go. That'll wrap it up for another edition of the Coaches Show here with Marion County Football live from Big Papa Smokehouse. We'll be back at it next Tuesday night right here, 6 o'clock on G&G Productions.
When you want barbecue done right, head to Big Papa's Smokehouse in Lebanon. At Big Papa's, we take pride in smoking our meats low and slow in our very own outdoor smoke pit, using a special blend of hickory and oak wood for that rich, savory flavor. Pulled pork, brisket, ribs, all seasoned with our original in-house rubs and recipes, then smoked to perfection with delicious sides and desserts. Taste the difference that only Big Papa's can deliver. Find us at 737 West Main Street in Lebanon or call 270-699-2321. Big Papa Smokehouse, where every bite is smoked with pride.
Ready for a new adventure? We'll help you get there, by land or by water. New car, ATV, RV, or boat? Wherever your next adventure takes you, we make your loan process simple, stress-free, and fast.
Farmers National Bank. Local decisions, personal service, real relationships. Member FDIC.
Looking for custom t-shirts or embroidery? Come see us at United Threads in Lebanon. Whether it's for your ball team, your business, a family reunion, fundraiser, or your club, we've got you covered. From hats to shirts, we can design it, screen print it, and embroider it. All done in-house with top quality results. Find us at 100 Corporate Drive right behind Hardee's and next to Kroger in Lebanon. That's United Threads, because when you look good, your team looks united.
You've been watching the Marion County High School Football Coaches Show with head coach Ross Brown, live from Big Papa Smokehouse in Lebanon. Tonight's coverage is brought to you by Big Papa Smokehouse, Farmers National Bank in Lebanon, and United Threads. Thanks for tuning in. Join us next Tuesday night at 6 p.m. for the Marion County Football Coaches Show. And go Knights!